So I have the new XM5 headphones, but I also have the XM4s and the truly wireless XM4 earbuds. Wonder which to get? Let's find out. What's up? I'm Brandon, known as Be The Installer on my AV channel, where I've been reviewing Sony products for a few years now, as you can see behind me. But here on Be The Consumer, I'm really excited to review more general consumer products like these new Sony XM5 noise canceling headphones. So I'm going to briefly go over the XM5 feel and features first, then compare them to the XM4s and the earbuds, explaining what I like and don't like about all three since I've had the XM4 and earbuds for over a year, and then offer some final buying advice based on the pricing and your use cases. So if that all sounds good, please smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel and set the notification bell to all to be alerted of each new video. I'm excited to review the newest Android and iPhones, as well as comparing new EVs and other cool tech, so make sure to subscribe. So the Sony WH-1000XM5 noise canceling headphones have a whole new look. When they were announced, I got quite excited as I found the XM4 and earbud XM4s to be extremely useful, and the new XM5 looked so different, I figure there's some decent changes. First, the case is larger because the headphones do not fold up as the previous XM4s did. I've seen some people complain about that, but to be honest, it makes absolutely no difference to me. It has always been a bit of a challenge to get the XM4s back in the case when I go on vacation, and this last weekend in Palm Springs, I felt like both cases took up similar space in my backpack. And since I use them nightly watching TV, they're always out of the case anyways. What did or does concern me a bit about the new XM5 headphones is that they seem to be a bit more pliable. You can manipulate them very easily due to the redesign. First, they no longer have stiff metal around the head. The ear cups seem looser when in your hands. The foam on the ear pads seems a bit softer, and at first I thought they felt a little less sturdy overall. But when you have them on your head, all of that seems moot because they feel extremely comfortable on. And I think that's the point. Most people would likely prefer the XM5 design because the changes are actually subtle, sleeker, and growing on me the more I use them. My initial reaction was likely due to me having the XM4s for so long. And swapping metal for carbon fiber is rarely a bad idea from a weight and strength perspective. Maybe Sony knows what they're doing. But in the long run, we really won't know how they hold up over the years until they're tested. The button design is nearly identical. First, you have the same USB-C port on the bottom left. The new XM5s can give you 24-hour battery with noise canceling on and 3 hours of use with just 3 minutes of rapid charging. That's pretty amazing if you think about it. The XM4s had boasted 5 hours in just 10 minutes, but offered up to 30 hours while noise canceling was on. But one rather important feature to point out about the new XM5 headphones is that they have 2 QN processors and 8 mics to read the room instead of just 4 mics and 1 processor in the XM4s. The power/Bluetooth button is in the same spot on the left cup where your thumb would press if grabbing from the bottom. This is where we get to the second major difference in the XM5 and XM4s, and that's that the XM5s have Bluetooth 5.2 while the older XM4s still have 5.0. Both are great, but as technology continues to improve, having 5.2 is beneficial with regards to connecting your headphones to multiple devices, if that's something you're going to do. I know that when my XM4s come on, sometimes I have some lip syncing issues watching TV when they're also connected to my phone. It always seems to go away when I disconnect my phone while watching TV. I haven't had that issue with the XM5s, and the whole point of Bluetooth 5.2 is to send multiple data streams to devices and help with some of the shortcomings of previous versions of Bluetooth. I'll talk more about this in direct comparison, but if you're on the fence, this could be a tipping point. Next to the power button is the ANC button on the XM5s that toggles between noise canceling or ambient mode or just having both off, just like the XM4s, although the XM4 button says custom. And really the only thing that I noticed when turning them on and toggling was the new noise that the Mark 5s make. The Mark 4s had a pretty loud beep when turning them on and off.
Power on. Bluetooth connected.
And the new XM5s sound more like a note from an R&B song or maybe the strum of a guitar. But the Mark 5s are more subtle in the notification sounds, and I like it. But really the most important thing is how good they sound, how good they are for calls, and the noise cancellation. First, the automatic noise canceling, or ANC, is known to be industry leading on the Sony headphones. The XM3s and 4s were already great, and as I said, the dual QN1 processors with 8 mics of the Mark 5s are even better. In addition, these Mark 5s can constantly listen and adjust in real time to changes in the ambient noise. The upside is that they should be able to react to the environment around you and block out new noises. But on the other hand, there are some changes in pressure and sounds that I've noticed when on a phone call or without music playing. But overall, it seems to be a very well-balanced ANC where it's not super aggressive, making you feel like changes in altitude on a plane, like some headphones, even the XM4s, can make you feel. And in general, it's just more of a comfortable feel about the headphones. The sound quality when listening to music or watching TV is quite good compared to many other brands of headphones that I've had in the past, including Bose, Philips, and other Sony headphones. Some of that is because these are very bass heavy, which is what I like when watching movies and music. Out of the box, they're a bit muddy until you download the Sony Headphone Connect app and get into the settings. I skip over a lot of the setup, but the EQ is something that I always customize, increasing the highs and a bit of the mid bass. Then I definitely engage the clear bass to 7 or 8, and then I just listen to music way too loud. The XM5s sound pretty similar to the XM4s. I didn't notice a significant improvement in sound quality, but that was already a pretty high bar to beat. I think what really separates Sony headphones from others is that the ANC is so good, while the sound quality is also pretty solid, making you feel like you're a part of the music or movie and very separated from the outside world. So just make sure that nobody has fallen down the stairs when you're watching a movie, because you'll never hear them with these headphones on. Lastly, before I recommend the XM5s versus the other two, I want to talk about call quality, because whether you normally use these for making calls or not, sometimes calls come in when you're listening to music. And at this point, you shouldn't have to hustle to turn off or swap to a second pair of headphones when taking those calls. This is sort of the feeling I got when receiving calls on the XM4s. So we did a little test to see what the quality was like, so I called my editor from a room with a fan to see how each one of these sounded on his end. Of the 3 different sets, the over-the-ear XM4s performed the worst, where my editor could hear the fan in the background and my voice sounded muddled in the mix. Then in the middle was my XM4 earbuds, where the microphone successfully blocked the noise of the fan, but he still said I sounded a bit distant or distorted. And the XM5s were the only pair that was able to both block the sound of the fan and have high sound quality on phone calls. So this brings me to the general comparison and recommendations. The XM5s are very nice. I highly recommend them for anyone looking to get the top wireless ANC headphones, but I also could see some sticking with either of the XM4s. I personally couldn't use over-the-ear headphones for working out or even just outdoor use in general. For me, they get too hot and I'm not trying to sweat out of my ears. So the XM4 earbuds are great for everyday use in my opinion. The ANC is not quite as good as the over-the-ear headphones, and they don't have quite the power of the other 2 options, but they still sound really good. But they don't make your ears hot, and many times I just want to use one of the 2 earbuds when taking calls and listening to sporting events while on my phone and hanging out with the fam. And to be fair, with both in, they achieve decent noise cancellation with the ANC and just by plugging up your ears. But they come with their own issues, like losing one and not knowing where you left it. And many times when the case's battery is low, it activates the other earbud while in the case. And then people on the phone call can't hear you because one mic is trying to listen through the plastic case. But if you're active like me and may want to listen to one or the other and those other side effects may not apply to you, the XM4 truly wireless headphones are my favorite option for a typical day. The over-the-ear XM4s are also very solid. I would bet almost everyone watching this video would be quite happy with the Mark IVs. The only real downside for me on the XM4s is the call quality. And like I said before, I rarely use them for phone calls anyways. So if you're going to keep a pair of these in great shape over the next few years, for a plane ride here or there or listening to music around the house, the XM4s are just fine. I've always liked the fit and feel, and the ANC is quite strong with a 30-hour battery that can charge 5 hours and 10 minutes. So even if the XM5s are better, the XM4s are now second on my list as favorite over-the-ear ANC headphones. And you can find these for $300 or less from different vendors. Of course, I'll have all 3 of these linked in the description below if you're interested in buying one for yourself or a loved one. But of course, this video is really about the new Sony XM5 over-the-ear headphones, and no matter how I slice it, they're the best version to date. They do start at $400, but that'll eventually change. They have a better engineered version of noise canceling with 8 mics, dual processors, while maintaining the sound quality of the XM4s. And now you can get 3 hours of additional playtime with just 3 minutes of charge. So that's pretty incredible in a pinch. With the new Bluetooth 5.2, they should be the most future-proofed if you use multiple devices, and I would say that they're the top choice for most people due to the class-leading ANC, improved call quality, and solid overall sound, with some extra bass for those who like that sort of thing. But what do you think? Are you all about that bass? Seriously, are you getting these new XM5s, or do you have any other headphone recommendations? Let me know in the comments so other buyers can find out what you think is best. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and set the notification bell to all, and watch a couple other videos here, and I'll see you in the next one.